Hello everybody, my name is Ben, and welcome back to another Le Mans Ultimate video. And today I finally got a really good race going on, and a little bit of an issue with my brake pedals, but it's whatever, honestly. But today is going to be a really good race. I got my best qualifying position yet in this game, up in 3rd place, my first ever podium. I actually got the achievement for getting a pole lap because I was the first to set the fastest lap, but then it got beaten obviously by this Corvette and Porsche in front. But here we come down to the start-finish line, and they got much less lenient on the race starts. Like, I've noticed a lot less people getting drive-through penalties off the start of these races. I think they changed something because it was like way too aggressive with the penalty. But anyways, gonna get off to actually a pretty good start. This Porsche in front of me does not get the best start off the launch. Or off the green light. I don't know. I'm really bad at talking. Which is anyways, coming down towards the first turn, I'm going to go to the left side of this Porsche. And this Corvette is going to fly in behind. Go way wide. Do a little tap to that BMW. I'm going to go right over the apex. Just try to keep it nice and tight. Get as much exit speed as I can. Going to the right side of this Porsche into turn 2. This Corvette is going to try to get up my inside. He's going to do it. I obviously don't want to run wide and go off because that would not be a good spot to go off the track there. Anyways, already dropping back 2 positions, but honestly, I'm not the best off race starts anyway. This Corvette is going to go out way wide to the left, which is going to give him a very bad run out of this left-hander at the bottom of this hill. Coming now through the uphill, through these very slow corners, this Corvette is going to try to make a move up the inside of this Porsche, and he's going to succeed with it. Being very aggressive off the race start, but he was keeping it pretty clean. Battle of the BMW and that Corvette up ahead going on as well. And here we come down towards turn 1. We're going to go 3 wide here into the first turn. I'm going to have the slipstream off both of these cars in front. Have a lot of speed to send it right up the middle lane. And we are now going 3 wide into the first turn. But we're all good and know what we're doing, so luckily it doesn't end badly at all. Corvette's going to go wave a massive lunge around the outside. He was very good on the brakes there. That was a very good maneuver by him, outbraking both of us and getting around. But I do manage to get around the Porsche because that sandwich left him in a very bad spot to make a move from. Coming now around the final bend again, I'm going to get a much better exit than the Corvette ahead. Again, this is a very important corner here at Fuji. I'm going to get a nice run up the inside of this Corvette. He's going to try to pinch me a little bit, but I hold my ground and I don't let him do any of that stuff. We just stay right there in the middle of the track, force him all the way to the left side, which is the better spot. Get a little look at him because why not? And coming into the braking zone, we now got this Lexus coming out the pit lane, and he is going to be a little bit in the way for him, and he moves out of the way of the Corvette and just goes right onto the path I was going to take. So that was kind of annoying because, I mean, he just should have gotten completely out the way, but, you know, kind of hard for him to go anywhere. That was just a very bad spot for him to come out the pits. Anyways, Corvette is going to go back up my inside through turn 2, just a recreation of what happened on lap 1 with us. And we're going to continue through this right-hander and then into this very tricky left at the bottom of this hill. You can easily overcook the brakes into there. I almost go into the side of the Corvette, but luckily I'm weight on the throttle so I don't crash into him. And coming down into the hairpin again, right behind this Corvette, nice little gap between us. That Porsche is going to go for a dive bomb, but here I just don't get on the brakes enough and just go into the back of the Corvette. He wasn't mad at the mistake. It was I don't know, my brake pedal has been very finicky lately. These old Logitech brakes are not doing too good for me, and He didn't mind though. He said, you'll see at the end of the race. I ended up apologizing and he was completely fine with it anyways. Coming now through this left-hander again a few laps, about a lap later. And my brake is going to have another problem here. If you look, my brakes are slightly on and I don't realize till it's too late. I literally had to hit the pedal again just to get it to shut off. And that's going to cause me to lose a lot of time to the Porsche behind. So I have to go to defensive into the hairpin. Luckily I'm able to keep it on the apex and I'm able to keep the position through there. Coming back now into turn 1, the Porsche is in a great spot for a nice dive bomb down into turn 1. He is going to be real late on the brakes, but he is going to make it through quite nicely onto the apex. I'm going to try to go for a move around the outside, but I'm not too confident going around the outside here into turn 2. So it's really just trying to put a little bit more pressure onto him. This guy is very good at racing. We do have a very good race this whole time, and it's honestly just a really good battle for this podium position. Now here we come again into these last 2 turns. This Porsche is going to make a little bit of a mistake into that one uphill corner. And into the last turn, I'm going to a really wide line, trying to get as much exit speed as I possibly can onto the front stretch. And I'm going to tuck in behind him and try to get into his slipstream. He is going to go super defensive. He does not want me to go up his inside at all, down this whole entire front straight. He's going to get right over onto the white line onto the track limits. I'm going to catch up a lot in slipstream. These cars have a huge suck at their top speed. I brake a little earlier than I probably should have, but I needed to bleed off a little more speed because of that slipstream. And he goes a little wide on the apex, but that is going to give him a much better exit going into turn 2. He goes a little bit defensive, so I don't think of a move up the inside here and just keep it behind him to pick up as much time as I can. Now a lot of these moves do happen into the last turn, and here right ahead we're going to see this Corvette Spun, who for some reason whips his car right back onto the racing line, which almost causes a collision with the Porsche ahead, but that is going to pick up 3rd place for me and put me onto the podium. So now I don't even have to overtake this Porsche ahead for it, but we're still going to go on and have a great battle. Now at this point, it's all the way to lap 10 until I eventually am able to close the cap in on this Porsche. He was very quick. He was really driving, and he even admitted at the end of the race that he was sweating from all of this. And I am able to start making up some time on him all these laps later, and I'm able to make another move after he makes this mistake, which definitely costs him a lot of time, and that's going to give me another run going down into the first turn. Now here we go through this last turn. Again, this is a turn we're going to see a lot in Fuji because this is where pretty much all the overtakes happen. Coming down into turn 1, it's going to be pretty much exactly what happened the other time, where he is going to go super defensive all the way down to the track limits on the right side, but I'm not going to have it. I'm going to go all the way up into the left side here and hold my line all the way at the top to try to get as on the rubber so I can brake as late as possible. He's going to take it nicely up the inside though, go a little bit wide on the apex, but I'm going to try to bring it back in the middle and try to get the best exit that I possibly can. Coming down into the turn 2, I'm thinking of going for a lunge, but I realized how far I was back from him and decided not to go for it because this is not a big braking zone. Now through the last sector of this track, I was much faster and much more consistent than this Porsche, which gave me a great run most laps to go for a move on him here, and we're going to have what is going to be my final move to overtake this Porsche for 2nd place. We're going to quickly close in on him, and I'm going to go for something a little bit different. Instead of going back to the left, I'm going to pinch him down to the right and making him have the worst braking zone that he possibly can, which is not illegal. You're allowed to pinch. I hold him down there as long as I can, as far down as I can without running into him, and because of that, he goes way wide past the braking zone, which is going to give me a much better line through. But because of his exit speed, he is able to just hold it to my side, and I can't really get over to go defensive through turn 2, and he is going to end up keeping the position. And that is going to be it for our race. I am not able to make another move on him, because this is, of course, the final lap of the race, and at this point on Fuji... Oh, gosh. And at this point on Fuji, there really isn't many other overtaking spots besides that first turn and this hairpin at the bottom. But I sadly do get a bad exit out of that left-hander, and I am in no spot for a move. This is way too far for a dive bomb into a corner like this. So there's really just no place for make a move here. But this was really good racing. We did have a very good race. And definitely the best race I have had so far. The best racing I've had so far on Le Mans Ultimate. It was just really good, really clean. I like the game. This game's collision model is really good. On online, the cars can get really close to each other, and there's no netcode like iRacing has, which just feels really nice to be able to race this close and not really fear your car just getting slingshotted off for some netcode reason. But anyways, here we come through to the finish line. And he is going to finish P2. I'm going to finish where I started in P3, my first ever podium here in Le Mans Ultimate. which is quite awesome. And that BMW looks pretty excited up there about getting maybe his first ever win as well. Anyways, at the end, the guy, the Porsche, ends up saying he had a great fight, and I say good fight to him, and I end up apologizing as well to the Corvette that I ended up spinning in the beginning, but luckily there was no hard feelings between us, and as you look at my terrible typing skills, as you can see, Butler said it was all good, so he didn't really mind. And here are the race results. My best finish yet, 3rd place. And if you guys enjoyed, please make sure to like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in the next one.